Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're here on the Clay Cosmato Show, and we're here to discuss today opening Skinner's box. I repeat myself again. Opening Skinner's box. Okay, and we're here to discuss about opening Skinner's box and the experiments in the chapters. And we have a few contestants here, a couple people who have read the book, some of my associates, and they have their videos and their thoughts about what they thought about this book. This exquisite book that stimulates the mind and artistic integrity of psychology itself as a whole. I recommend this book to everyone. And here, we have the people to describe it.
Psychosurgery and lobotomies are the main topic of this chapter. The author talks about Antonio Manes, the father of lobotomy, and his experiences in psychosurgery. The author also talks about the positive and negative effects that a psychosurgical procedure can have on a person's life. I thought it was interesting that after Charlie Newitz had surgery, that he no longer had OCD, and it's crazy to think about how far research on the brain, medicine, and surgical procedures has come.
The best chapter in Opening Skinner's Box by Lawrence Slater is definitely Chapter 3, Being Sane in Insane Places. In this chapter, Slater dresses up and pretends to be hearing noises, and the first thing the doctors do is write her a prescription for medications. I found this very interesting because the doctors had had years of training, but still were unable to decide if a patient was faking or if they actually needed treatment.
The book Opening Skinner's Box was an intriguing novel that was both informative and interesting. The chapter I enjoyed the most was Chapter 7. This chapter was about psychologist Bruce Alexander, who attempted to prove the past experiments about narcotic addiction wrong. In the past, all experiments that dealt with the addiction to drugs concluded with the idea that certain substances are irresistible, causing animals to lack self-limitation to the point of death. However, Alexander wanted to see if the problem was cultural rather than chemical. He had two groups of rats, one in a rat utopia and another in a normal cage. Both groups were given normal water and water with cocaine. By the end of the experiment, Alexander had concluded that the rats living in their utopia did not continue to drink from the drug water, yet the rats in the normal cage did continue to drink from the drug water. This experiment was interesting to me because I never thought the problem with drugs could be the environment rather than the drugs themselves.
My personal favorite chapter of Opening Skinner's Box is Chapter 6. This chapter talks about Harry Hollow's experiment with primates and to find what's love. Harry Hollow himself experienced bouts of depression throughout his life and in school because he did not fit in. When Harlow moved to Madison, he began testing monkey intelligence, sort of a Similan IQ profile. Harlow separated the newborn monkeys from their mothers, and he observed that they became extremely attached to the terry cloth towels. He came up with the theory that the sense of touch is the basis of forming love. To examine the power of touch, he put some newborn monkeys with iron maidens who pumped freezing water over their children, punched and stabbed the children. No matter what the torture, the babies came back to her. This showed that love is very strong and that we are creatures of faith. Later, he observed that the cloth-mothered monkeys were violent and antisocial. So there was something more than this touch that was important for their development. If the monkeys weren't allowed to socialize and play with other monkeys while they were growing up, they would turn hostile towards them later on. Opening Skinner's Box is a great book, and I think the author really put herself into the stories and in the stories of the novels and the experiments she showed. This proved exciting and showed a lot of. So I'm done.